Everyone in Jinbei's elite wife circle knew that.
My wife, Shen Qingyue, and I were famously
If she paraded around
couple.
with some young pretty boy, I would smash her multi-million yuan luxury car to pieces.
After 3 months of marriage, she stayed out all day and
So I
caused
dragged her
scandals
home
from every club until she cursed me to die.
In the 3rd year of our marriage,
I was ready
curse
to divorce her
finally
after
about
a
to come
night-long
true.
flight. I came home pale and saw clothes scattered everywhere. Shen Qingyue smirked, asking why I still would not agree to divorce. For the first time, I did not argue. I only said, "Get dressed. Let's talk outside about divorce." I had barely sat in the study for 5 minutes when she rushed in, fully dressed. I pushed the divorce agreement to her and told her to sign if there was no issue. She picked it up suspiciously. She never believed I would let go. But the agreement showed I wanted none of her property, not even our house.
She narrowed her eyes. Are you serious?
You won't run to the old residence and make a scene? I calmly said I would not. Shen Qingyue stopped hesitating and signed her name. As soon as the last stroke fell, she urged me to go handle the paperwork. There is still a 30-day cooling-off period.
I don't want to waste even 1 extra day with you, she said with a sneer.
We rushed to file the divorce application.
The staff reminded us we could cancel within 30 days, but she said she had waited 3 years.
When I came out, her car was still by the road. She lowered the window, handed me a business card, and mocked me with an 80-year-old rich woman. She wanted to embarrass me, but I took it calmly. She did not know those 30 days were not only a divorce countdown, but my death countdown. I wandered the streets, clutching the paper in my hand. My death sentence. It said I only had about 30 days left.
That thunderbolt feeling was not new.
The Lu family was collapsing, all the burden on me.
But
and I had once called her for comfort.
Every
call until she simply
when
turned
she appeared
off her phone.
again,
she had brought that man into our wedding bed. Almost everyone in Jinbei knew Shen Qingyue, and everyone
I
thought
had
I hated
each
her
other
just as
since
much
childhood.
as she hated me. I touched the ring on my finger and remembered our wedding day. When she mocked me, "Lu Xichuan, don't tell me you really like me." She hated me because our families tied us together in marriage, forcing her first love to leave the country. No one had taught me how to keep someone I loved. My phone kept vibrating and pulled me back to reality. Shen Qingyue was throwing red packets into the group chat, then posted our signed divorce form. That single picture exploded like a bomb. Everyone celebrated that she could finally dump me and change lovers freely from now on. Someone wondered why I was suddenly giving in after tolerating so many scandals. The group fell silent, and then my phone rang.
She asked if I was playing with her. I laughed and said this time I was not, but I had one condition.
I wanted her to do 10 things with me before the divorce. She bargained it down to 5, and I agreed. The first thing,
to a charity
dress
banquet
formally and accompany me.
On the way to pick her up, she never looked away from her phone.
When she finally saw me, she told me to lose weight and said I looked awful. I ignored her. When we got out, she grabbed my hand and mocked me. It's not like we've never done anything closer than this. It was not the first time she had held my hand, but it was the first time she had done it on her own. At the auction, I saw the painting I wanted and raised my paddle. Another woman bid first, and Shen Qingyue bought it at a high price. Warmth rose in my chest for a moment, until I heard her tell the staff to mail the painting to the Song family in Nanqing. I got up and walked out. She followed, angry and impatient, calling me sick. I pulled my arm away and said, "Yes, I'm sick." I moved out of our marital home and did not contact her for a week. She pretended not to care, but the 4 remaining tasks made her uneasy. When she called, I had just finished radiotherapy. My illness was worsening fast. I told her I wanted to go to Tibet. She probably thought I was crazy, but to get divorced and escape me. She bought the tickets at once. I arrived wrapped up, barely able to lift a small bag. Right before boarding, her phone rang. Song Jingnian had posted a painting, and she abandoned her promise without hesitation. A staff member asked if I was still boarding. I stopped looking back at her and chose to walk the opposite way. After landing in Tibet, I received her message. "I'll arrive 2 days late. You go ahead." She really wanted to cut ties with me. I did not wait for her. I found a local guide and joined the tour. But my body could not keep up, and I spent most of the time resting alone. When she arrived, I had already packed to leave. She kicked over my suitcase in anger, while Song Jingyan happened to be next door. I stopped speaking and bent down to pick up my clothes. Song Jingyan appeared at the door, asking if he had disturbed us. He said our voices sounded loud, and Shen Qingyue glared at me as if I had disturbed his rest. Then she asked him tenderly if he was hungry. Before leaving, she turned back impatiently and asked what I wanted to eat. I refused, and she snapped, "Sue yourself. Starve then." The door closed, leaving only Song Jingnian and me. The Song family were nouveau rich. After failing abroad, he came back and contacted his old love. With Shen Qingyue gone, he stopped contending. He kicked over my carefully packed suitcase, and I slapped him across the face. When Shen Qingyue returned, she saw the mark on his face. Song Jingyan put on an innocent act, saying it was all his fault. She glared and was about to chase after him, but I stopped her. "The third thing, I want you to stay." I reminded her that the first 2 things had not satisfied me. If she gave up now, did that mean she did not want the divorce? She agreed, but warned me that the Lu family could no longer protect me. Then she called Song Jingyan, coaxed him, and sent him back early. Watching how carefully she treated him, my heart tasted bitter. So Shen Qingyue did know how to love someone, just not me. When she said I looked like I was dying, I joked that I really was. She replied that if I died, she would set off fireworks for 3 days. I did not stay long in Tibet. My body was clearly reaching its limit, and after returning to Jinbei,
I
each
lay in
round
bed
of
for a week.
radiotherapy, my hair fell out visibly.
I cried
in the bathroom all afternoon, then bought a wig before meeting her. She frowned and reminded me that less than 7 days
before
remained.
the cooling off period ended.
I looked out the window, thinking I had once believed that standing beside her would let us share the same view. But she never saw someone she did not love. The fourth thing I asked for was for her to go to an amusement park with me. It was not to compete with Song Jingnian. It was a childhood dream of mine. Her body stayed beside me, but her heart had long drifted away. At night, when the Ferris wheel lit up, I pointed at it and asked her to ride it with me. She stared at me and said, "Even if it reaches the top, I still won't love you." I turned away and said I only wanted to try it once. Then Song Jingnian called, and she left in a panic again. This time, without even saying sorry. At the top, I whispered, "Happy birthday to me." After that, I was rushed to the hospital with a high fever. In a haze, I thought I saw Shen Qingyue laughing at me and telling me to die sooner. When I opened my eyes, only my good friend Lin Xia was there. He thought I was asking the date because I feared my time was running out. I panicked and asked for my wig. Then I asked carefully if anyone had come to see me. Lin Xia could not lie. Shan
Not only
Qingyue had
had
she not come, she ignored the calls and mocked us over the phone, saying I was too stubborn to be unconscious and asking for the final task. I struggled upright and called her. After she hung up 3 times, I sent a message instead. Within 2 minutes, she called back, tired. Jingmian is sick. I have to stay with him. Let's do the last thing in 2 days. My throat tightened, but I forced myself to sound relaxed. Only one thing left. Once it's done, you'll be free. Or are you regretting it? She always hated being provoked like that. After the call, I laughed with my phone in my hand.
she would notice
the bitterness cut into my
cleaned
heart.
myself up before she arrived.
A few hundred meters downstairs took me nearly 20 minutes. She impatiently asked for the final task. I sat in her passenger seat, fastened my seatbelt, and said, "Make me lunch." She looked at me in disbelief. After all my difficult demands, the last thing was only one meal cooked by her. She checked the time
and drove us
sent
to the
a few
supermarket.
messages. It was our first time shopping like an ordinary couple. When a child nearly ran into me, she instinctively pulled my hand behind her, then quickly let go. Back at our house, she went into the kitchen. Only then did I collapse to the floor. I had just learned she could cook, and it was for Song Jingnian. She kept bringing out dish after dish. I asked if the 2 of us could finish it, but she calmly said, "Who said it's just us?" Before I could react, the doorbell rang. Shan Qingyue smiled as she opened the door for Song Jingnian and told him he was just in time. He walked in familiarly, even taking out a pair of slippers I had bought but never worn. He thanked her for preparing his bowl and chopsticks. She held his hand intimately and said she had washed them several times for his cleanliness. Her tone with him was soft and coquettish, nothing like how she spoke to me. I watched them exchange sweet words
Then
in
finally
silence.
interrupted.
Shen Qingyue, is this the last thing you
Only
promised
then
me? Did she notice how much weight I had lost? She felt guilty for a moment, but still justified herself, saying she could not leave Jingyan alone. I stood to leave, saying I should never have expected anything from her. Song Jingyan reached out to stop me, but his sleeve caught my wig and pulled it off. My mind went blank. Just as I almost gave up and wanted to tell Shen Qingyue everything, picked up the fallen wig. With a serious, accusing tone, he said I had shaved my head just to keep Qingyue, and might use becoming a monk to threaten her next. Shan Qingyue's shock vanished. She snatched the wig, tore at it, threw it into the trash, and said she would divorce me before I died. Trembling with anger, I asked if she truly hated me that much. She said, "Yes, for 3 whole years, I have hated you." I calmly told her to meet me at the Civil Affairs Bureau at 9 tomorrow morning. Then I picked my wig out of the trash and left. For some reason, Shen Qingyue wanted to follow me. But Song Jingyan grabbed her and then clutched his stomach, saying it hurt. Not long after I left, I fainted by the roadside and was taken to the hospital. When I woke, I asked Lin Xia to buy me a ticket. I wanted to travel around Jinbei. Lin Xiao sighed. He could not refuse me, but he asked if I was really going to die and let those people benefit after all I had done. My thoughts went back years. When Song Jingyan left, Shen Qingyue chased him and had an accident to be him, staying by her side to give her the will to live, but it no longer mattered. I had let it go. The appointed time had passed, yet Shen Qingyue delayed leaving. When Song Jingyan asked, she claimed she only wanted to make me wait. She finally got into the car but did not start it. Thinking of my shaved head, she felt strangely irritated and drove toward the Civil Affairs Bureau. She planned to grab my shameless face and ask what that bald head was about. Whether I really intended to become a monk after the divorce. But the person who should have been there never appeared. She waited until the office closed and night fell, then kicked her tire and cursed me for standing her up. At the same time, doctors and nurses were pushing me into the operating room. Lin Xia held my hand, crying for me to survive. The doctor urgently asked for a family member to sign. Lin Xiao called again and again, only to find Shen Qingyue had blocked the number. "You will regret this," he said. Shen Qingyue sat on the sofa, watching Lin Xia's calls come in one after another. Unmoved, She blocked my number, convinced I had lied about the 5 tasks. She imagined I was hiding somewhere to laugh at her. And in fury, she smashed her phone on the floor. When Song Jingyan arrived, he saw her enraged. Hearing I had not shown up, his smile froze and he pretended to be troubled. He said a friend told him I had hired people to act.
Claiming I was seriously ill and needed surgery just to make her sign papers.
He asked whether I liked her and whether she might love me after 3 years of marriage. Shan Qingyue kissed him and swore she had only ever loved him. After sending Song Jingyan away, she called her assistant, ordering the Shan family to seize every project the Lu family wanted and cut off all cooperation with us. The assistant hesitated. The Lu family had already declared bankruptcy that morning. And old Mr. Lu had recently been cremated. She had ordered everyone not to mention the Lu family. After hanging up, she sat frozen. Because she despised the Lu family. She had never allowed me into her company or let our families cooperate. Her feelings grew complicated. The Lu family had suffered such a huge blow, yet I had hidden it from her without a word. She called me angrily and unleashed every cruel word that I had stood her up. Hidden my father's death, and that she knew I loved her but felt disgusted by me and the Lu family. She said she would fight me to the end. But the other side stayed eerily silent, not even breathing. Before the call suddenly hung up and my phone shut off.
Furious, she wanted someone to find my location.
In the past, she had punished me until I could not get out of bed for 3 days. So when Song Jingyan came and asked her to go abroad for an art exhibition, she readily agreed. At the exhibition, everyone saw the person beside her was not me. People rushed to flatter the two of them, believing the Shen family hated the Lu family completely. But their words did not please Shan Qingyue, and the crowd found excuses to leave.